Hey, I'm Greg Lautour and we're out here in sunny Taupo testing for DRD magazine, and we're lucky enough to have a 2013 KTM XCF. Yeah, when I first went out on the track, the bike being brand new, felt quite stiff and funny, but did a few more laps, started freeing up and started feeling awesome. The bike's really good in ruddy corners and it just tracks so straight, and you just being an in-between size bike, there's plenty of torque to pull you out the corners, but there's never enough that it's going to rip your arms out or send you out of control, so you can just roll it on and you're never scared of it. Even the rough stuff, it tracks really straight. The suspension's really confidence inspiring, good bottoming resistance, but it's also quite soft and supple on the soft stuff. After playing around for a while on kind of more open, kind of ruddy tracks, I started playing around on a few hill climbs and logs, and the bike's still a lot of fun on that stuff. It's still got great kind of enduro capabilities. It hasn't lost that at all. With riding over logs and stuff, it's got a lot of rear wheel traction, allows you to load it up really good, and you can go a lot of places on it and have a lot of fun still. So it's definitely a good compromise for a lot of people who like to go out, kind of do a lot more of the epic events kind of rides and really ride the wheels off a bike and hit big bumps, do big jumps and bang bars with mates. But then you can go out to an enduro, real snotty hill climbs, technical rocks, logs and all sorts of things, and it's still an awesome bike there. And with being electric start and having the big 9.5 litre tank and the side stand, it's a really great all-round bike, and you can see why it must be one of KTM's biggest sellers. Some of the new upgrades for 2013 are the engine cases are now die cast instead of sand cast. This allows them to cast them more precisely and enables them to make them thinner, which means they've saved around about 2 to 3 kilos just in the casting, well, just in the engine alone. Also, they've changed the rear axle up to a 25 diameter down from 20 millimeters. This apparently makes the bike more stable, track better through whoops, but it's not really noticeable for someone like me running an enduro track. Also, another upgrade for 2013 is the resonance chamber on the exhaust, which gives it a bit more bottom end, and it is noticeable, and it does have a lot of bottom end and will pull you out of a corner quick. The new plastic shape seems to work really well. I mean, it stands out, looks sharp, but it also functions really well too. With the side shrouds, they curve around a bit more than on the previous models, and I know on my 2012 250 XC, I quite often find I catch the corner of my boots on the front of the shrouds, but I don't seem to have the trouble on this bike, which is another really good feature KTM have sorted out. Also, there's the new quite sharp looking front guard and front number plate setup. I don't really see any advantages in that, but it definitely looks the part. Another kind of few cool looking features are the black spokes, the new Dynamo grips, which have got KTM imprinted in them. Those look pretty sharp, and the black rental bars. As usual, the KTM's a really great bike to ride with a super light throttle, and it's just easy to use. The Brembo brakes perform awesome and are always consistent and have great stopping power. And also with the Brembo hydraulic clutch, it's just an awesome package. The KTM 350 is definitely a great compromise between the 250 and 450. It has the torque and the ability to really give you a fright when you wind it on, or just really give you a thrill when you get into some open stuff. But it doesn't give you arm pump as quick, and it's a bike you can really lay into corners. And quite often on the open stuff, you'll be scared of a 450 just to hold it wide open as to how it will react over some of the bumps, but The 350 is definitely a confidence booster. It just tracks so straight and you can just really ride the wheels off it, and it's awesome. Plus the advantages over a 250 is that you don't have to ride it as hard, so it's a bit easier on the bike and it's a bit easier on you. And sometimes if you miss a gear or you're not as mentally onto it at the end of a long day, it doesn't matter as much. It'll kind of pull that gear, whereas sometime on a 250 you'll lose your speed, or it might result in someone passing you, but just the small mistakes don't matter as much. If you're in the market for a new bike, the KTM bike is definitely worth considering. It's one of the best compromises of a bike I've ever seen, but it doesn't, with the compromise, you're not losing out on anything. So if you're considering a new bike, it's definitely one to take into consideration. So head down to your local KTM dealer and book a test ride.